A dog is a term of endearment. Like, yo, dog. What up, dog?
No, it's not. No, it's not. If you say, "Hey, dog," I'm
hey,
playing
dog.
with tape. That's like
playing
saying,
with tape,
"Hey,
dog.
woman, just don't worry about what I'm doing."
No.
Don't talk to my dog in that rude tone of voice.
It's not like I said, "Hey, bitch, I'm playing with tape." I said,
"Shut up, Mitchell."
I said, "Yo, dog."
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Let's Get Classy with Chris and Mitchell.
We're getting classy.
And Mitchell's playing with a fucking tape, and we're gonna hope it doesn't show up on the record sounds.
I love it.
Mitchell has an issue with tape. Do you want to talk about it at all before we start?
It's not an issue. It's a compulsion.
It's a fascination.
Yeah.
If he sees Scotch tape or any other form of plastic tape on a roll, does it apply to masking tape?
Masking tape doesn't work as well.
What about duct tape?
Duct tape, no.
He always wants to tear a piece off and play with it between his fingers.
Packing tape sometimes.
Like some kind of small child.
Outside,
or mental patient.
Outside of Scotch tape, masking tape is the best.
But Scotch tape is the best.
Scotch tape, Scotch brand, clear tape, not the satin tape, but the regular invisible tape is the best. Not the gift wrap tape, not the double sided, just plain old green Scotch tape.
And with that incredibly boring intro, welcome to another episode of Let's Get Classy.
It's just my life. I mean, you call it boring if you want.
It is boring. It's the most boring compulsion a person could possibly... Like, there's never going to be a USA or Fox television show about a detective that solves crimes and also has a fascination with Scotch tape. That's not a cool enough fascination to carry a TV show.
You know, I'm sorry. I have a thing. Excelsior!
Yeah, it's a walking stick. Anyway, yeah, we're playing Grim Fandango.
I thought we were playing Star Wars.
What? Why?
'Cause it said LucasArts at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, it did say LucasArts, but no, this is back when LucasArts made good games. Not just exclusively terrible Star Wars ripoffs.
They made a couple of bad games.
They've made a number of bad games.
And,
a very large
like, remember
number.
the Staff of Justice or whatever the fuck it was called?
I don't remember the Staff of Justice. What is that?
The Indiana Jones game, what was that called?
I don't know.
The Whip of Justice?
I'm sure it wasn't called the Whip of Justice.
The Whip of Jones?
The Whip of Jones.
I don't think that's what it was.
Mitchell and I are once again drunk on wine. as per Let's Get Classy tradition.
Well, I mean, we're going back to our roots.
Well, going back to the roots of the grapevine, as it were.
Yeah.
Anyway, you played Grim Fandango before, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you say a little bit. How far is a little bit?
Up to the casino.
Up to the casino.
Yes.
Okay, so you've gotten farther than I've gotten.
Okay, cool.
So this is the first hour.
That makes me feel good.
I've only played it for 1 hour.
1 hour.
1 hour.
So we haven't left the parking lot.
No, we've left the parking lot. We've gotten pretty far, I would say, for 1 hour.
Yeah, it took me an hour to figure out what we might get there. The little like weather machine thing.
Weather machine?
The electric conductor.
No.
With the car.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, cool.
We'll see how far I've gotten.
All right, man.
But yeah, this is my first. I've always wanted to play Grim Fandango. I've always loved Double Fine Productions. I like all the stuff Tim Schafer has done.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of his older work, and I'm a somewhat of a fan of his later work. I wasn't as big a fan of Psychonauts as other people.
Brutal Legend was fun.
Brutal Legend was okay. It had some good ideas.
The big battles were too confusing for me.
Yeah, the whole base building mechanic was completely unnecessary.
But
if it had stayed an open world running around Jack Black in Fantasy
That
World.
part was fun.
Yeah, that was interesting. But I had never actually been able to play Grim Fandango because when it came out, I was too busy playing King's Quest VIII. And then later on, when I tried to play it, it was one of those Windows 95 games that you just can't play anymore.
Right.
And so it wasn't until finally I bought it on Steam that I was able to... Yeah, this is the remaster.
Yeah.
And this is the Steam version of it, so... every now and then I'll talk to somebody and then a random achievement will pop up in the corner of the screen that's referencing an inside joke that I guess was popular around the time that the game came out, but now I don't have any relevance to.
Okay.
Because that's the way that Steam works nowadays.
This whole beginning section is really complicated. I guess the whole game's pretty complicated.
Well, that's just kind of the way that old adventure games were.
Yeah.
You know, they were I mean, you remember back to our King's Quest video.
Oh, do I ever?
If I hadn't have been doing that, both from memory and with a walkthrough, it would have taken years.
Did you do this from memory or with a walkthrough?
Well, as I just said, this was the first time I played this game. So no, I did not do it from memory, and no, I did not do it with a walkthrough, and that will become painfully evident as this video proceeds. As I get confused over very simple things.
Okay.
So, but I do really like this game. I really do. I found myself wanting to play this game more after I was done, and just kind of, you know, liking the characters and the idea of it, and the fact that you're in some sort of, you know, purgatory that you have to work your dead off. That you know, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's fun. But we're not here to talk about this video game, are we, Mitchell?
Are we not?
No, no, we're not. We're here to talk about something far more important.
Okay, what's that?
Star Trek.
Star Trek!
Yes! I've been watching Star Trek, The Next Generation. Not the original Star Trek with, what's his name, William Shatner?
No, you said it was The Next Generation. I think that's pretty much all the explanation you need right there.
Well, yeah, but I still, for people that don't know the difference.
Okay.
There's the original Star Trek that starred William Shatner, and then there's The Next Generation, which stars Patrick Stewart and Michael Dorn and Brent Spiner and what's her name, Mariana Cetus and some other people.
Yeah, that's her name.
Yeah. You don't know.
I don't.
Because I've been only starting to make you watch Star Trek recently.
Your cursors are different than what I'm used to.
What are you used to? What did you play this on?
PlayStation 4.
This game wasn't on the PlayStation 4 originally. This game was on the computer. What was the cursor on the PlayStation?
There wasn't really one.
Well, how did you... Oh, you moved around with the stick?
Yes.
Okay. And then how did... I guess you just press buttons to open your inventory and stuff?
Yes.
Well, fuck you. This is different.
I see that.
And then this is when I learned that I can double-click to run.
It wasn't very intuitive, I guess.
You were confused as to how the way the game was laid out?
Yeah. I was.
You hear that sentence that I just said? You were confused as to how the way the game was laid out?
You were confused about how grammar works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's this 14% wine that we're drinking.
I think we're on 13 now.
No, we're not actually. This is the end of the 14.
Oh dang!
We decided to play it safe today, and we went. We have three different types of wines. One is 13.5% alcohol. One was 14% alcohol, and one was what? 12.5%.
13.
13.
It was 13, 14, and 14 and a half.
Okay, so
yeah.
No, it was 13 and a half, 13, and 14.
So you say.
That's what I just said, yes.
Isn't that what I said?
No. You said 14. Anyway.
Look at that piñata.
This is the Mexican Day of the Dead Festival.
Hey, look at you.
You know how those Spanish people love dead people, right? Jokes.
Racism.
Racism. Also,
Jokes.
holidays. Anyway,
It was just.
I've been
holiday,
watching a
wasn't
bunch of Star Trek, and it's fun.
it? We're back on Star Trek.
Star Trek's a good show.
It's not gonna end, is it?
Talking about Star Trek?
Yeah.
No, I like Star Trek now.
Okay.
Just the next generation, not the other one.
Not the other ones.
Well, I
just
don't
the
know.
next-
I don't know enough about the other ones yet. I might like the other ones, I guess, in the future. Well, I've been doing this thing,
Okay.
and I've told you about it before, and it's just that I'm trying to not be so absorbed in my own like first impressions of things, and trying to give things a full chance.
Okay.
And in that mentality, I did watch the intro or the pilot episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation because it was on Netflix. And it's the one that you've fallen asleep to 3 times.
3 times.
The
It's like 2 hours long, right?
yeah,
It's part 1 and 2 in the same episode.
yeah, and it is. I thought it was really, really cool.
It does a good job of introducing characters, but the story is not.
I think it really
Great to
comes
me.
into its own in the second episode where everyone gets drunk and someone fucks a robot. Everyone gets drunk, someone fucks a robot, and the 16-year-old kid takes control of engineering.
Okay.
And that's the second episode of the TV show. And that just kind of was enough to kind of catch me and be like, okay, well, maybe the show isn't afraid to, like, take chances. And it's not.
In the year 1990. Or was it 89?
The first episode, 87.
80. What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, in 1987, if you're looking for star anything, you know,
You're shit out of luck.
you might as well look at the wars.
What kind of wars are going on in 87? I'm pretty sure that's just the time of, like, Christmas specials and whatever else the fucking Smurfs were doing.
Let's see. 77.
Sorry, not Smurfs. What are they called?
The Snorks.
No, not Snorks. They're the little furry things. Ewoks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like Don's rigged his computer to automatically
Yeah, I guess there wasn't any.
intercom.
Because it was 77, 83, and 85?
Are you
Probably.
asking me when Star Wars movies came out? Because I don't fucking know. Why would I know the answer to that?
Or was it 87?
I'm pretty sure the first Star Wars movie was they saw on that 70s show, so it must have been in the 70s.
That was 1977.
Okay. So then Empire Strikes
And
Back.
then it
I
was like
feel
80, I think.
81, 82.
I feel real dumb right now.
You should,
yeah.
because this is like your favorite movies in the whole world, and you should know when they came out.
All employees of the Department of Death
Yeah,
Bureau of
I should.
Acquisitions
Yeah.
and employees who have made
I get confused.
are invited to take
Anyway, did we say this wine was 14% alcohol?
time lost on the following
Yeah, we said that.
Okay.
We said it was a number of things.
I didn't know what I was doing when I was doing this part of the game. Going up through the apartment building and climbing the rope and going into the boss's room and changing his voicemail and stuff.
Oh, I didn't either.
But I just, like, kind of changed it to what I felt was the most adventure game timey answer. So, I felt like that was a good idea. It turned out to be right later on.
This place is a mess.
I do really like the Mexican Day of the Dead and just kind of the themes of this game. I think it's fun, and it's something that you don't really see in games ever.
For the record, it was 1977, 1980, and then 1983. I was way off, and I feel really dumb, and I'm sorry.
Well, if it helps, no one cares.
I care. I've got a fucking...
So you played past this part, right?
Yeah.
What do I attach to that rope to make that hit the ladder? Is there actually a grappling hook somewhere? Because I couldn't figure it out.
You gotta do what now?
there's the rope that I throw right there, and it looks like it can hit that ladder, but there's nothing to catch the ladder, so it feels like I need to put something on the rope to make it turn into a grappling hook to land on the ladder. But I don't know what to attach to the rope.
Have you been to the roof yet?
The roof of what?
The building?
I was just on the roof. I was on the side of it.
No, like the actual roof.
How do I get to the roof?
Because you got to get to the roof of the building, and then there's like there's a secret entrance to the underground base. But there's birds up there that you got to get out of their nest, and there might be something in the nest.
What the fuck are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. So we haven't left this building, huh?
We've left the building, for sure. We've gone to a place. I don't know. I don't remember.
I really don't either. And
this was a couple of weeks ago that I played this game, and I've been busy.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've done this, and I haven't had time to care. Or energy.
That better not be me.
Well, so we don't know really what we're talking about here.
Well,
That's
what have you been up to, Mitchell? What have you been doing? It's been like a month since we've recorded one of these.
I've been doing a lot of work.
Sure.
Drinking a lot of whiskey.
Okay, what kind of whiskey? There we go. There's something to talk about. We like whiskey.
I like
Our fans like alcohol.
I like Scotch whiskey.
Gross.
I do.
I like bourbon whiskey. It's not important.
And bourbon
One's not
whiskey's
better than the other, except for that they are.
No, Scotch is better.
No, bourbon's better, but that's fine.
Bourbon tastes like syrup.
Out, doesn't it?
Anyway, what kind of scotch have you been drinking?
I typically go for monkey shoulder, but then I got this bottle called Shackleton's or something like that. It's real good. It's expensive. I liked it.
So is that an endorsement for Shackleton?
Yeah, I'm still drinking it.
Right now? I thought you were drinking wine.
Well, not currently. I mean, that doesn't travel with me. That sits in my jar at home.
Here's what I need.
Do you think it's weird that you can get in trouble for driving around with whiskey that you opened at home and you just want to take over to somebody's house to share?
Yeah.
I think that's weird.
But have I gotten in trouble for it before? Yes.
But were you actually doing that, or were you drinking it at the time?
It's a tool cabinet.
I mean, I wasn't drinking at the time.
Have you been drinking it before you got into the vehicle?
Maybe.
See, that's just not appropriate.
No, it wasn't. I was 20 years old and stupid.
Look at this giant polygonal character.
Oh, he's big.
I miss when video game characters look like that, and that was okay. You could just get away with that, and you're just like, what is he? Fucking big orange thing.
He's a good dude. I like him.
Yeah, he's your driver. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. He's a good addition to your team.
Is that a German name?
Oh no. My root.
I don't know that this is the kind of game that you have a team.
Let's talk about other games.
Okay.
Alright, so...
there's a game on the screen.
I get there's a game on the screen, but like... Alright, I don't think you're remembering the point of why we started doing this. So let me just lay it out for you.
Alright, tell me.
Alright. We wanted to get drunk.
Yes.
We wanted to hang out and talk about video games.
But not
actually have to pay attention to one.
right.
But we also wanted one to look at every now and then in case we got bored.
In case we didn't have anything to say.
And we didn't have anything to reference.
Yeah. This episode's way too fucking meta for me.
Oh no, it's like a community episode wrapped up in a behind the music scene.
That's right. They now they know our process. because we're not talking about anything except for what we usually do.
And then, before Mitchell comes over, I have to get out all these microphones and set them up. Except sometimes I forget. And
That doesn't happen before I get here.
No, it usually doesn't. Usually I just don't worry about it. Usually he just gets here, and then I'm just like, I'm going to watch Star Trek for 2 episodes.
And I was like, that's cool, I'll drink wine. And then this is what happens.
Anyway, this guy looks like an orange has a face.
When is the last time that you broke a controller? An orange has a face.
I have never broken a controller out of anger.
No, not out of anger, just when's the last time you broke a controller? Specifically a Nintendo controller.
I honestly don't remember the last time I broke it. The last time I remember a controller even being broken is around the PS2 era.
Right?
And a friend of mine and I don't want to say names out here, but we were we were in someone's house.
It's not me, is it?
We were
Okay,
we were downstairs, and me and her decided that we were going to go. We were going to go out to get something to eat, and we decided to knock on one of my friend's bedroom doors to see if he wanted something to eat. But he was busy in his room playing Dance Dance Revolution on his PlayStation 2 controller. And
how do you play that on a controller?
Very, very carefully, I would imagine, and just very quickly.
I dated a girl once that was in the Dance Dance Revolution. It didn't last long.
and so we knocked on the door and said, hey, do you want to go get something to eat with us? We're going here. And then about 10 seconds later, there was this giant smashing sound. And the door jumped, and we opened it, and the controller was broken on the floor, and he had thrown the controller against the door, and it broke because we had interrupted his perfect streak of DDR controller motions. It was stupid.
Well,
that's the last time I remember a controller being broken. I've never actually broken a controller out of anger.
I broke my Switch controller.
How?
Well, I dropped things.
Okay. Accidentally or on purpose?
Accidentally. It's not broken per se, but it keeps pulling to the left.
Like you just let the controller stick let go?
Yeah. I'll let go of the stick, and Link starts walking to the left for no reason.
That. That's the worst.
Just for no reason, walking to the left. I get done, trying to fight a dude, and he just goes walking to the left and leaves me vulnerable, or walks off a fucking cliff.
I hate that.
These things can't happen.
No, and it doesn't do it in the menu screen when you're selecting an item, and then you're like, okay, I want this, and then it just starts moving over.
You can sometimes it's not as severe as others, and you go to the map screen and it goes, and it's just slowly inching over to the left. I can't do it. I can't.
Well, you gotta buy a new controller then, right?
But that's the thing. I've never had a Nintendo,
or take it apart and fix it yourself.
I've never had a Nintendo anything mess up on me. So this is new territory. I don't know what to think.
Well, that's weird that you've never had one mess up, because it always felt to me like the last 3 Nintendo consoles have been super, super cheaply produced.
No, Nintendo's always been good, but my Joy-Con.
Dumb name.
Did not last 6 months.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That really is sad.
It's real disappointing. But I'll go shell out $70 for a Pro Controller and be happier ultimately.
Well, you couldn't email Nintendo or send them.
I thought about that.
A customer service thing and say,
I thought
hey,
about that, yeah.
I've been using this just normally, and all of a sudden it stopped working.
Don't
why
tell them.
are
It drops
you
onto my
making a
floor
bunch of
all the
shit?
time.
Well, no, don't tell them that.
No.
But even so, like this is a video game console. It's made for kids to use. Like it should be able to be dropped on the floor and spit on and thrown and stuff and still work.
Yeah.
That should be part of the testing process.
That
of
was
the
the beauty of the Wiimotes. Like, you could throw those into the TV and the wall and nobody cared. It just kept working.
Except for the people that own the TVs or the walls, but fuck them, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. You can't fit in that car. What are you?
He doesn't need to. This is moving really quickly.
What do you mean?
The,
They say black is slimming.
I feel like it took me a lot longer to get to this point.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm just smarter at solving puzzles than you are.
That's probably true. Like, this took me to get here, like, days.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I skipped the whole thing.
Walk faster than this.
Because I never went to the poison.
Híjole, I'm gonna miss the poisoning.
No. You can't go to the poisoning.
Oh, you can't?
No.
Oh, that's good. Because the whole time I was really worried that I
yeah.
was supposed to do something and I fucked it up.
Your buddy, that guy, he goes to the poisoning.
Yeah, Domino. He's not your buddy.
Well, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
I thought this scene was really neat the way it was put together, because it's like you're in the real world, but everybody looks silly.
Yeah, it's like a collage paintings, like a
Yeah,
serial killer.
I really like this.
And then the body bag like twitching on the floor.
Yeah, you're there to collect the corpse.
Monsters of us all.
No, it's a good game. It really is.
But yeah, it took me a long time to get my car going, man.
Cows are a whole other bureau, not to mention
Well,
Texas.
You're stupid.
I am.
I
That's
have to
true.
say,
Yep.
this food looks pretty good.
Anyway, let's talk about the fact that the restaurant sign in the background acts like it's mirrored,
Oh God, you're right.
but it's not. And that's definitely would look backwards to anybody who was looking at it from the outside.
What does the door say?
As bright and wide
What
as
door?
the blade on my side.
The door.
Oh, it says tables for ladies.
Tables for ladies.
Yeah, I mean,
Which is also
actually
pointed
it's
at us.
actually it says Ables for 80s. And we can't see the T or the L, but we're pretty sure that's
we're
what
assuming
it
that
says.
that's what it says.
Yeah,
I can't use my bare
Huh.
hands. I'm a professional.
very strange.
I like his extenda scythe.
It seems unnecessary that it has to like pull out like that, like
And the
some
dude
sort of
decomposed really quickly.
cane. And also is a midget,
Nice bathroom.
which is weird.
Wow.
But it's a normal person-sized body bag.
But we offer several travel packages.
Anyway,
Why deny him a normal sized body bag?
Get some rest.
well, it just seems like a waste of space.
Ay, ay, ay.
Body bags are like one size fits all.
Not if you're 600 pounds.
Whatever.
Oh yeah, slam the front into the weeds.
Are they not?
Anyway,
Do body bags come in small, medium, and large?
so you broke your
And
controller.
Extra large?
You'll get plenty
Yeah.
of rest this way, Mr. Martinez, and you'll
I'm wondering if I just need to shell out the $70 for the extra, for the Pro Controller and go about my merry business, or just
qualify for anything.
try and take it apart, or ask Nintendo for like warranty shit.
I would do the warranty first, and then
Move my legs.
I don't know.
You
Either
know I'd like to, Bruno.
how comfortable are you in your ability to take a controller apart?
Not very.
Well, probably just buy a new one then.
But I know people who have experience working on small appliances.
I don't want to do that.
I got a
I'm
sale
not doing
right
it.
here.
You could help.
I don't want to.
You could
I'm
help
not
me.
doing it. The last console I worked on was like a DS. I'm not fixing that.
You can fix an iPhone. You can fix a Nintendo controller.
You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
Exactly.
Stupid argument.
Well, I was gonna bring that up eventually, but I guess there's no better time than the present.
I'm not doing it.
Alright, fine.
I don't know how, and I don't want to know how. You know what? This is the problem with fixing any kind of technology professionally.
What's that?
Is that if you do it once, people assume you can do it for the rest of your life. And it's just like, you know what? Yeah, I did fix cell phones from like 2012 through 2014. But that doesn't mean that I can do any cell phone made past 2014, nor does it mean that I want to do any type of electronic.
I didn't assume that you had the necessary ability. I just assumed that maybe as my friend you would want to help me out, you know.
I have the ability to do anything I want to do. Let's not play games here. But a friend would simply ask and not hope to be invited.
Okay. My fault.
Yeah, it is.
Making assumptions.
That your ass can't cash.
Yeah. My ass has no money.
Anyway, this is our work neighbor. Some douchebag.
Oh yeah, he's an asshole.
He sure is, but you know what he does have? A bottle of whiskey in his office.
He does.
And we partake of it
I know how to get it.
profusely. I mean, you know how to get it.
I know how to get it.
You can just drink it for free. What do you mean? You want to get it?
You have to sneak in and get to his whiskey or his computer.
I don't know about that. You can take his whiskey whenever you want.
Can you?
Yeah.
Hail Mary. And you sold her a ticket.
You gotta climb the scaffolding to get into his computer.
You're thinking of the other guy.
Is it the other guy?
Yes.
This is a good guy. We like him.
No.
This is Boss Man.
No.
Funny joke. Heard it.
Do you know what's happening?
I
No.
want to punch you in the mouth.
Cool.
Oh no, not the.
So how's Zelda going?
All over again.
Besides the broken
I
controller.
told you I broke my controller.
Yeah.
I'm just wasting time.
Just as soon as I get
I need to go beat the game because I'm getting kind of tired of it.
Yeah, you need to go fight Ganon.
I do, but I don't want to be fighting Ganon and just start walking to the left.
My secret to success? No, I mean, how did you screw up and get stuck?
So you have to spend another, what did you say, $70
$70.
to buy a pro controller,
And I thought about like,
so you can beat the game that you already spent $60
Yeah.
to buy
yeah,
on the console
yeah.
that your wife spent $250.
I don't know. She won't tell me.
$250 to $300 to buy,
Right.
to which you have 2 games for.
No thanks.
Yeah, which I would like to get to the second one.
Mario and Zelda.
And Golf Story.
And Golf Story. Yeah, tell me about Golf Story.
There's not much to tell. I haven't really played it.
You bought Golf Story.
I bought it under strong suggestion
Right. From
you.
Right.
Yeah, so I bought it.
I saw a video on the YouTube and I thought it looked fun.
And you said you should get that. And I was like, oh, all right, I'll get that.
It wasn't that strong of a suggestion. Mitchell's just really susceptible.
Wow. So be it. There you are drinking his whiskey.
Yes. We're gonna drink his whiskey profusely. This will become a theme as the video goes on.
Hey Dom, what's your
But
screensaver
I
password?
I
Get
would
away from my computer.
Miranda. I shouldn't use names.
You said Miranda before.
Have I?
Yep.
She already beat.
Mitchell's wife is named Miranda.
Oh,
They're
God.
both named M's. It's
Oh,
not
God.
that big a deal.
Lock on it. Can't believe he
She
doesn't
already
trust
beat the Mario.
Right? Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah.
While you were too busy playing Zelda?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of
She-
a pisser.
She loved it. I want to play it. I've seen some of it. I've seen the ending, which is a little disappointing. But I do want to play it. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like one of those games that I could just play and be drunk and not care about.
Right.
And I can't do that with Breath of the Wild.
No, you have to.
Gotta know
what's
what I'm
going
doing.
on. Yeah.
But Mario, I could just mess around with and have fun with. Golf Story, I think I have to pay attention to, because there's a lot going on there. And
this dude always freaks me out.
yeah,
Like, it's just it's so out of place where it's just like, oh, and by the way, there's some demon who works the mailroom. Don't worry about it. But also, it's a puzzle.
You think you're better than me?
you gotta clog up the mail chute, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember.
You remember. We all remember. But you know what? We're not going to see that yet because we're going to take a commercial break.
Dun dun dun.
Commercials.
Now a word from your advertisers.
Come on down to Randall's Randomonium. Randall's Randomonium. That's right, we have lots of stuff. We got lots of boxes. Do you like boxes? Yeah, you like boxes. We got lots of stuff. Lots of boxes. We got confetti. We got a lot of confetti. We have a lot espresso machines. We got a lot of espresso machines. We have other stuff too. Just check it out. Come on down. Come on down. Come on down. Infinity Square next to Whisper Dan's, but don't be too loud.
As an American citizen, I know that sometimes I don't always have the best ideas.
I want the government deciding what I do with my money.
When I send an email, I want the government to look through it and check for all the grammatical errors, and to make sure I'm not saying anything disparaging about any elected official.
Your local government has heard your cries and we are here to help. Introducing Proposition 756988, Complete Surveillance.
Everything is easier when the government makes all of my decisions for me.
I didn't used to know what real news was. Now that the government controls all of my media, I know exactly what's going on in my community.
Vote yes on Proposition 776988 and make independent thinking a thing of the past.
Alright, and
Yes.
we're back with the familiar rib tubes. Sure, that
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Alright. So, for some reason when I was playing this game, I had a fascination with the fact that you can make a balloon in the face of Robert Frost.
It doesn't look anything like it.
Not at all. But I wanted to use it for everything. And at least to my knowledge so far,
I don't think you can do anything with it.
no, it's a completely useless item.
Yeah.
The only thing you can get from the balloon maker that is a useful item is the empty balloon. The what do they call it? A dead worm?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway.
So you, you got to put something in the mail chute, right?
Don't worry about that.
Okay, we're not doing that yet.
No, don't worry about the game. What do you think this is? Some sort of Let's Play?
Well, that's what we started doing.
No, 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 no. This is something far different. And I'd tell you what it was, but I can't remember.
Right.
I'm so...
The evolution of Let's Get Classy.
Let's get classy and drunk.
Are those
on wine.
lightsabers? They look like lightsabers.
That's the foam thingies. You brought them up earlier.
Oh, yeah.
You said you had to clog up the mail chute. That's what you use. You got to get the dead worms from the guy.
That's
you
right.
Plug them into the thing.
That's right.
But I don't think I'll figure this out for another 10 minutes.
Okay.
So just sit back and relax.
Okay.
It's all good.
I'm relaxed.
In the hood.
I'm not getting that stuff all over my hands.
In the hood.
Mr. Fudd.
I'm hanging with Mr. Cooper.
This is all dumb. This is all just dumb commentary.
That's not on fire.
All of it is dumb.
What have you been
commentary.
doing with your life, Mitchell, since the Comic-Con?
We've already done that.
Did we do the what have you been doing?
Yeah, we
Part?
did.
I don't remember. Okay.
We did. What have you been doing since the Comic-Con?
Oh, what have I been doing?
Tell me about the Comic-Con.
The Comic-Con was fun. We sold a bunch of cards. It was nice. Stay tuned, and then you'll be able to order cards online.
I was
after
there.
we figure out setting that up.
I was a part of it for a second.
Mitchell was there. You can see the video.
Yeah.
He was in the video for a brief moment.
But we won't tell you which one I am.
No, we'll never tell you. He's the ugly one.
It's true. I'm only there for like a second, so it's alright.
Do you want some more wine?
Yeah, I do.
Alright.
What kind of question is that?
Yeah, it's a dumb question.
No, I was real happy with the turnout. I'm sure you were.
Yeah, it was awesome. I couldn't honestly have imagined that going any better. We sold out of everything that we brought, and then signed up like 40 more people to buy some when we printed our next selling. So, you know,
Here's to that.
that's yeah. Cheers. We're gonna cheers our glasses.
How are we gonna make it make
I'm gonna
noise?
do it.
You
I'm
do it
gonna
on
do it in
yours.
front of the microphone. Are you ready? Are you ready, viewers?
Cheers.
Are you ready? Cheers.
All right, now, okay, and we're drinking.
Now we're gonna drink them. Ah. Oh, that is not good. Oh my god. That is not nearly as good as the other one.
I'm glad we saved that one for the last. Imagine if we drink that first.
Oh yeah, we would have stopped.
Yeah.
Jesus. That is not good at all.
You gonna stop drinking to them?
This sign says,
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Don't talk shit, alright? I'm no wuss. But that does taste like garbage.
So,
Speaking of garbage,
garbage. Speaking of
it's locked.
do you have any news to talk about? I didn't prepare anything.
news,
Yeah, you know, like how we do like current events and stuff that's in the
garbage.
garbage. Yeah.
No.
What you got?
Except for it looks like we're gonna get bombarded with
Wheels.
virtual nuclear missiles.
Ooh, I might get hurt if I
What?
try to get one down by myself.
You know,
No, I don't. Virtual nuclear missiles. I don't
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
Old Vladimir decided he wanted to demonstrate his power and say he could bomb Florida with nukes, but he did it with virtual
Tell a
missiles.
salesman how it
Right,
works.
right.
Yeah.
Down somehow.
I don't think that's anything to worry about. That seemed more like talking smack than anything else.
It really did, but why would he put the focus on Florida?
Because it's easily accessible
Is it though?
as a peninsula. And as if he had bases in South America, it would be the closest.
Hey, you missed a great poison.
See, I didn't think about coming from South America.
Or Cuba.
It seemed like it was kind of far away from the motherland.
I'm not really in his office.
No, I didn't really pay attention to that article, so I wouldn't really know. I saw the headline, I didn't click on it.
Okay.
There's so many things nowadays that I see the headline and I just don't worry about because
No, the news is dumb.
the news is dumb and depressing.
I enjoy my life of ignorance.
Either it's lies or it's sad.
Yeah.
And either way, I don't know if I want to hear about it right now.
Right.
Then he and I are stuck here having
It
this
is
conversation
depressing.
over and over again for eternity.
What a sad time to live in, we all exhibit.
What if we just skip town tonight? You and me, baby.
Anyway,
Thanks for the offer, but we'd never
That's
make it
enough
out
of that.
to see you alive.
yep.
But
In one piece, I mean.
I bet I could get you out. If I really try.
So,
Oh, Manny.
no, here Manny's hitting on the secretary.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you? It's a dark time to live. He wants to take the secretary and run away into the desert and never look back.
How do you define a good
And from
life?
what you said earlier on, he wants to visit a casino.
So what did you do?
Oh, he doesn't want to just visit the casino.
What does he want to do?
He runs the casino.
Oh, that's cool. How do I go from being a death salesman to running a casino?
I don't know, man. That's like year 2, man.
Well,
We're on a 4-year plan here.
what a lot good you are.
Did I come in on Saturday again?
It's the day of the day.
I didn't-
Everybody's back in the
I
land
didn't
of the
finish this
living.
game. I didn't tell you I
Isn't it
finished
like
it.
we should be?
How far did you get? Just to the casino?
Aren't you visiting
No
your
farther?
family today?
Ah, the boss is
Pretty
here,
much,
so
yeah.
I gotta be here. How about you, Cal?
No one back there I want to see.
And you don't want Dom and the
Well.
boy alone getting all the good leads.
That too.
Well,
Just one more question about my
I don't know.
Manny, you know what to do. Stop playing dumb just to flirt with me.
come on with the old insults like I know or
I think
in the bank there.
Look, I've been trying to be a better person. I
Haven't-
don't want to. I'm trying to
That's a
not
nice shot there. With
curse as much. I don't want to insult you as much.
better take
I'm
this
trying to
card.
be nicer.
Looks like a
Oh,
long
well,
day of
I
summer.
appreciate that. That's very nice.
So, you know, just because you lack the ability to follow through with any obligation to finish anything that you start
Oh,
doesn't mean that I should berate you for that. Just because you're useless and
on fire. That's not on fire.
unimaginative and you don't feel like it's worth it to follow through with your obligations, I don't think that that's something that someone else should hate you for.
Not portable.
That wouldn't be fair. So it's okay if you don't want to finish a game because you don't have the ability. That's okay. You look a lot like you want to punch me in the face.
where is that coming from?
Black market burn.
I,
don't
yeah,
know.
I don't think we even talked about that on here.
I was just
Yeah, yeah.
riffing on.
Nothing in there but
Making-
my
making
Yeah, I'm
fun.
gonna let it air
Well,
out
what a
some.
dick.
Yeah. That's kind of the point.
So what have you been doing post-con?
What have I been doing?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking nothing, man. Riding on the high of actually, like, selling a thing
Yeah.
and that it was really cool. We've been trying to, you know, just get stuff set up for making more of the cards.
Right.
And then
What kind of date are we looking at to get more cards?
about a month from now, hopefully.
Okay.
It kind of depends on money, but
Right.
a month and a half, you know, 2 months at the most. But it's more the fact of just it. There were kids that would sit down and they say, you know, oh, I want to play this with my grandpa. And there were people that just of all ages, nobody sat down and played it and didn't like it. And that was just the coolest thing for me.
It's hard not to like.
It,
It's a good game.
well,
Dead worm. Heck, that
you know
sounds
that,
I do.
and I know that because you were there when we helped make it, we played it and stuff. But to go from something that me and my friend made drunk on a dry erase board to like something that a 6-year-old is teaching his 3-year-old brother how to play, and they're both enjoying it.
Right.
It's the most amazing feeling. And I don't know why you wanted to go from a hard, dry comedy joke about me making fun of you for no reason to talking about something that I actually care about emotionally.
It's a deflated balloon.
Because I was starting to feel inadequate.
And so you wanted to make me be emotional in order to compensate for that?
I just wanted to change the subject, really. That's pretty much what that was about.
Well, that's fair enough, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't mean anything. I just wanted to list a bunch of things that would be funny to make fun of someone for.
It was funny.
I thought so.
I laughed.
I don't think so.
Is filled with a light chemical.
This is filled with a dark chemical. He says that like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And then you gotta mix the light and the dark chemicals together, and then the foam explodes.
How do you do that?
You put them in the mail chute. It takes me a while to figure it out.
Okay.
Just hold on. It'll all happen in time. Fuck all this pollen, man.
Yeah.
My kid.
Welcome to Georgia.
Welcome to Georgia, as the mountain goats sing differently. They sing going to Georgia. It's a whole different thing. But,
Okay.
yeah, speaking of Georgia, so this morning it was 35 degrees.
Yes.
Yesterday, I think it was 85 degrees.
Yes.
I had to wipe frozen pollen off of my car this morning so I could see out my windshield. And if you ever just want a good idea of what it's like to live in southern Georgia, having to wipe frozen pollen off of your car in March is a pretty good example, I feel like.
Yeah. Well,
This balloon is filled with a dark
in a week
chemical.
it'll be summer.
Yeah, in just about 1 week, it'll be 85 degrees, and then it won't get below 85 until, God, what, October again?
November.
November, maybe? It gets worse every year.
Oh, yeah. It's the extremes.
We do seem to live in one of those epicenters for what, like, global warming can do. It's right here.
Yeah.
This is a very good example.
We have bigger storms. We have more extreme temperatures.
We have had very big storms lately, and very extreme temperatures. Both of those are true statements.
All of the things our grandparents warned us about.
You want to do that?
I don't think that's true.
That's a song,
Is it?
right?
It might be.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Speaking of songs,
Speaking of songs,
Mitchell, what have you been doing recently? Today?
I've rearranging all of my CD collection.
Why? I'm bringing this up because Mitchell posted a picture on Facebook, and it was just like an entire dining room table's worth of CD cases.
Oh, yeah, there's
mixed CDs stacked like 20, 30 high.
There's
It was an insane amount. I mean, all of it could have obviously fit on one USB drive, but
that takes the soul out of
I don't
it.
like the way that eye is looking at me.
that's what they say.
There's obviously, upwards of 800 or more CDs there.
At least.
Yeah,
At the very least.
at the very least. It's
How much do each of those cases hold?
I've got a couple that do, up to 260, and then, a couple more that do 150, and then a couple more that do 40.
Right.
And I just, they've been in such a disarray for so many years. I need to get them organized. It'll make me feel better about my life if I know that my music is all orderly.
Well, that makes sense, I suppose.
It's a weird thing.
Well, what kind of order are you trying to put them into? What's the sorting basis?
I started with the bands and the artists that I had the most albums of.
Okay, and what were those?
Well, you got your Metallica, you got your Smashing Pumpkins, you got your Gaslight Anthem / Brian Fallon, you got your Frank Turner, my wife's case, you got your Coheed and Cambria and Counting Crows.
So you have your wife's music integrated with yours.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
yeah, it's all together.
Okay.
Don must be in there tapping.
And we're separating our duplicates, and
What are you gonna do with all your duplicates?
No, Domino's in there.
I might buy a separate album for the duplicates, or I might I don't know. I hadn't decided.
You should probably buy a separate album, I would imagine, so that you can kind of see what all. I mean, that would just be like an entire album of things you have in common. That would be kind of cool to
oftentimes
have.
we had duplicates where one was, obviously way better than the other, and sometimes they're beyond.
Like just CD. Someone's taking care of their CD way better than the other person.
Yeah,
has.
usually they're hers that are better.
Well, no surprise there.
Not on fire.
But yeah. So we'll find it. Say we both have the same Smashing Pumpkins album that we bought. We'll find the one that's better and put it in the best album and
Not picking that
or
up.
the best grouping. Whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I feel kind of like I'm in High Fidelity doing it.
Well, are you calling up all your ex-girlfriends and asking them why they broke up with you?
No.
Well, then you're not in High Fidelity.
And I'm not arranging them autobiographically either.
Which is even better because, good God, that would be difficult.
I really would like to.
I've tried to do that before. It's very time-consuming.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
But it's a journey into the past, and it's really entertaining.
What's the best mix CD you found so far going through all of your old mix CDs?
Doesn't want to be disturbed today.
My favorite mix CD that I've ever made is called Berserker.
Right?
It's with subtitles, the Better Than Chris's CD.
Rude.
And what that comes from, I don't know.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know if you remember.
But go
I guess
ahead.
you do.
Go ahead.
But we started the same job at the same time, which is where we became friends.
Right.
And we both decided to. At that job, we had the ability to bring music in from home to play.
This is before iPods
yeah.
and MP3 players and stuff, and Pandora was so popular. So at work, what we had was a 6 CD music changer
Right.
that could rotate one CD to the next between 6. And that was the epitome of our music skills that we could help for the public consumer as opposed to listening to the radio, which we thought was, garbage because we're snobs.
Right. so we decided we were both gonna go home and make a disc and bring it in, and one was gonna be better than the other, obviously.
Right.
Because
we're both better at music than the other person.
Funny story is the funny part of that story is that there were probably 3 to 5 songs, I don't remember exactly, that were both on each of them.
Yeah.
And
What else?
and that was very telling.
Yes.
And now here we are, friends.
Yes.
So that one still kind of plays, but I'm not gonna throw it away. So
I could not remember what I would have put on mine at that time,
Is the server down?
but I'm sure it was good because I don't doubt my ability as a mix CD creator. If there's any skill that I've retained throughout my life, it's the ability to make a good mix CD for the situation. I don't utilize it as much as I used to, but the skill is still there.
when I was in high school, I made like 20 or more a series of CDs called Mrs. Groovy Stuffs. and I don't know where any of them are anymore, and that's really disappointing to me. But my stepbrother Brandon liked them so much that he asked me for a copy of all of them for one of his birthdays, and I made him. And there's only like 3 of them that survived, and I have those. And those are fun to listen to, but they're not very good.
Is it like a random 3? Like you have Mitchell's Groovy Stuff, number 4, number 11, and number 19?
Yeah, it's like 7, 9, and 11 or something like that.
Okay.
But they're not labeled as Mrs. Groovy Stuff. They're labeled as B-Mix instead, because that's what he wanted them to say.
Sure.
But I know what they are.
Deep down.
And those are interesting. I spent a lot of time when I was younger trying to craft the perfect CD from start to finish. So oftentimes they start off with some kind of movie quote or something to just kind of set the mood, and then it goes straight into the first lick of the next song, and then it has a bookend at the end. And I spent a lot of time trying to craft the perfect disc, and some of that stuff remains, and it's still pretty cool, but my tastes are not the same.
Well, I think that's something that we both have always had in common, is the love of the mix CD and trying to make the best one that you possibly can. And there is a lot of art that can go into that. I always really like the there was a Atari's and what was the other band that was with them on that mix CD? I don't even remember. It was an Atari's and another band, and they had a mix CD, and they both had 5 songs apiece on the mix CD, and then 2 or 3 songs that they played together. But each of the Atari songs was always like 10 to 15 seconds long, just for funsies. It was like fun little short punk songs, and
because when I think of punk, I think of the Atari's.
Well, still.
Even though they did a really good Boys of Summer.
Yeah, and the Boys of Summer that you're referring to was on this CD. This is the CD that it came out on.
Yeah.
Even though you want to be a smart ass about it. But those I'm
not saying I didn't have it.
Those few 30-second shorts were great, like inserts into mix CDs to kind of get your point across.
Yeah,
and it's always those little touches to mixes that whether it's like pulls from whether you're recording audio off of a TV show, whether you're just pulling something off of a record, whether you're recording off the radio. Like, you can do so much when you're inserting audio on the tape that it does become a sort of art form. And it's a very emotional thing that you're doing because you're trying to convey an emotion with your sounds.
Yeah, the kids don't know about that these days.
No, it's all MP3 players and digital downloads.
That's exactly what's so comforting about having all my CDs out, spread out on the table, because there's.
Well, what would you? I mean, you say that about your CDs, but what would somebody say about records that CDs took over, or about spools of audio tape?
I've got plenty of records. I don't have many cassette tapes any longer.
It's weird how nostalgia is dictated by what you were exposed to as a child. It is what you are nostalgic for compared to your personality. And some people happen to be nostalgic for things that were popular before they were born, but it's still few and far between.
I actually saw the other day, I was in a store and I saw a cassette adapter for our car stereo. And I didn't know that they still sold those, and that made me so happy when I saw that.
Is that when you put the cassette thing into the cassette tape player and then it has the cord that comes out of it to plug into your headphone jack?
The only difference was this one wasn't meant to connect to a Walkman, it was meant to connect to a cell phone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's even better.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Future.
Yeah. I didn't know they still made those things.
Future/past.
Because they always told you not to use those in the past because they would fuck up your tape player.
Right.
But now, who gives a fuck about the tape player, so you might as well use it.
You can just get a new one of those, and if you don't want a new tape player, just get a new car. Don't worry about it.
Right. So that made me happy to see that still existed.
Well, I suppose that's true. But
this broadcast took a weird turn.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, we're close to the end.
Yeah. So, have you any last words?
What else is new?
I don't know if we're that close to the end.
We're not that close?
I mean, we're fairly close.
Fairly close.
So you said you got all the way to the casino part.
I did, yes.
I have not yet, as you see, gotten to the casino part. But I have figured out how to do this door. And it's you gotta knock the little latch over and open it up. And it's stupid, but I got it, finally.
I can't remember any of these puzzles, I'll tell you.
That's not on fire.
That's not on fire. I like how he tells you you're wrong all the time.
Well, that's just kind of a LucasArts staple.
That's not on
Yeah.
fire.
And also, well, and to an even more extreme extent, Sierra games, which would tell you very rudely that you were wrong, and then if you tried it more than once, they would usually kill you.
You know, I bought another game recently. I played a little bit of it, called Randall's Monday. Have you heard of this?
That's the Clerks game?
Well,
Is that what you're saying?
it is, but it's not.
Is it officially licensed?
It is not officially licensed, but it does have the blessing of Kevin Smith.
Okay. Just go ahead. Tell me about it.
It is a game starring Randall from the Clerks series.
Right. Is animated like the same?
It is animated, not exactly the same as, but it does feature, you know, Jason Mewes in voice and likeness. At some point, I haven't come across him in the game yet.
Sure. Well, then how do you know?
It is a point-and-click adventure because I watched a behind-the-scenes thing before I bought it, just because I was confused about it. It's like, what is this thing? Is it actually related to Clerks?
Right.
So I watched it, and it is a side story from the Clerks character, but it is not an actual Clerks representation. But it does feature Jason Mewes, and I don't know if Silent Bob is in it. I imagine they probably put him in it. But Kevin Smith signed off on it, but it's not like an official VSQ thing.
Well, that's real weird.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before, but I kind of want to look that up now.
It is a point-and-click adventure, just like this. It's got two control types. You can do old school where you have to click on somebody and pick the action just like this, or it's got the new school, it says, where you can just walk up to somebody and press the action button.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's got I've only played a few minutes of it because I've been too focused on Breath of the Wild, but it's on the list. I bought it for real cheap because I had free PlayStation money, and I was glad that I found it. It's full of Clerk's humor, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, that sounds pretty cool. But I have a different question for you now.
All right, tell me.
And that's, what do you have to
Ask
say
me.
about Grim Fandango?
Grim Fandango, I like it a lot. It's difficult to figure out, but I like that it's difficult, and it took me a long time to get out of this town.
Well, it took me a long time to get out of this town too, and unfortunately, we're not gonna have time to see it all today. But
Is this going to be a continuation?
no, this is the end.
All right.
I'll play it later by myself alone,
Okay.
with no internet available. Anyway,
We'll see you next time.
we're drunk
A little bit.
a little bit. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Where's the stop button?
Yeah, I don't know. Find
Man, I
it.
can't see the mouse.
Oh goddamn! Come on.
Where is it?
It's right there.
I can't see it.
It's
My
right.
eye-
It's
my
right
eyes are
there.
squinting.
Just find it. It's right there.
Stop.
The moon of Kentucky keep on shining, shine on.